Welcome back to our channel for another explosive, deep dive into the daily drama of Port Charles. Today is a beautiful day to unpack the most shocking twists, betrayals, and heart-stopping cliffhangers. Grab your favorite drink, settle in, and let us break down every single jaw-dropping moment right now. The screams echoing through the Ashford house are not from a heated argument, but from sheer, unadulterated terror as Portia Robinson collapses to the floor in active, agonizing labor. The immediate aftermath of her vicious, testy confrontation with former police commissioner Jordan Ashford has pushed her pregnant body entirely past its physical and mental breaking point. The suffocating stress of Curtis Ashford's impending criminal trial, the aggressive civil suit, and the endless toxic family warfare has triggered a premature nightmare that no mother should ever have to face. Portia is completely, utterly alone. The sprawling house is dead silent except for her piercing, desperate cries. She screams out to the empty room that the baby is coming right now, sheer panic seizing every single inch of her body as another massive contraction hits. Her purse, containing her only lifeline to the outside world, sits agonizingly out of reach on the plush living room couch. Can she even muster the strength to dial 911 before it is too late? The sheer desperation of a highly trained medical professional realizing she might have to deliver her own child on a hardwood floor is palpable and terrifying. Sweating and trembling, she drags herself across the floor, managing to grab some stray towels and what appears to be a heavy leather doctor's bag. But is it her own medical bag? Or has a miraculous savior arrived at the absolute final second? The burning, high-stakes question on everyone's mind is whether Isaiah Gannon, the very surgeon who is aggressively suing her husband and threatening to destroy their lives, will walk through that front door and be forced to deliver the child. The bitter irony and the physical danger are completely off the charts. Every single second counts, and the tension is suffocating as Portia braces for the most traumatic, high-risk delivery Port Charles has witnessed in years. Meanwhile, the sterile, brightly lit walls of General Hospital are about to witness a high-stakes, off-the-books interrogation. Anna Devane, freshly back in Port Charles, and secretly haunted by the dark, manipulative hallucinations of the late Peter August, marches straight into Jocelyn Jax's recovery room. Jocelyn is still battered, bruised, and recovering from the severe, life-threatening stomach wounds she sustained during the bloody chaotic Windermere showdown. But Anna is not there to deliver flowers, warm hugs, or grandmotherly pleasantries. The former police commissioner and veteran WSB super spy is on a rogue, desperate mission, and she firmly believes Jocelyn holds the absolute final puzzle piece. Anna leans in close to the hospital bed, her eyes burning with a fractured, dangerous intensity, and demands immediate information. She tells Jocelyn point blank that she has exactly what Anna needs to cross the finish. This is about the nightmare buried beneath the stones of Windermere. Anna is relentlessly digging into the dark, twisted secrets of her own horrific captivity, a torturous stint stretching from Halloween 2025 to early 2026, and she needs Jocelyn to confirm the cryptic, desperate message she left carved into the wall of their shared underground cell. The psychological dynamic in this room is electric and fraught with peril. Anna, a legendary spy with over 30 years of bloody experience, is looking at Jocelyn not just as Carly Spencer's fiery daughter, but as a fellow operative in the trenches. She never wanted her granddaughter recruited into this lethal, shadow-filled life, but she recognizes the hardened steel in Jocelyn's eyes. Will Anna offer the young, wounded agent the tactical advice she needs to survive the Bureau's deadly games? Or will her Peter-influenced paranoia drag Jocelyn even deeper into a fatal international conspiracy? The psychological chess match between these two generations of WSB targets is bound to leave viewers absolutely breathless as the secrets of Spoon Island finally bleed into the light. Across town, sheer desperation forces a proud, stubborn man to swallow his pride and beg for salvation. Curtis Ashford is staring straight down the barrel of a lengthy prison sentence, and his legal options are rapidly evaporating into thin air. In a tense, shadow-drenched meeting away from prying eyes, Curtis tracks down the elusive Valentine Cassidy. The air between them is thick, with unspoken, violent history. Curtis looks the former mercenary dead in the eye and bitterly admits that he absolutely hates having to ask for his help yet again. The history binding these two men is explosive and forged in fire. Fans will vividly remember the horrifying night of the Route 91 crash. When Jordan Ashford was trapped inside a mangled, burning vehicle, bleeding and unconscious, it was Valentine Cassidy who risked his own freedom and life. Valentine was a hunted fugitive at the time, desperately searching the dark roads for Charlotte, Cassadine, and Danny alongside Carly Spencer. Yet, without hesitation, he threw himself into the wreckage, pulling Jordan from the twisted metal mere seconds before the car exploded into a massive deadly fireball. Valentine saved Jordan's life, and Curtis has kept that heroic, illegal intervention buried from the... But gratitude is not the only thing on Curtis's mind today. He needs a massive legal lifeline. Curtis is begging Valentine to testify in a court of law. He needs the former WSB operative to go on the public record and state exactly what he witnessed that night. Curtis is relentlessly hunting for the driver of the mystery car that forced him and Jordan off the road, completely unaware of the true culprit hiding in the Quartermain. The stakes could not possibly be higher. If Valentine refuses to expose himself, Curtis could lose his freedom, his new baby, and his entire future. But if Valentine agrees, he steps directly into the crosshairs of a massive legal scandal, just as he is trying to navigate his own precarious freedom with WSB Director Z. The tension between the desperate former cop and the calculating Cassadine heir is a masterclass in high-stakes negotiation. While lives hang in the judicial balance across the city, Trina Robinson is fighting a completely different kind of terrifying battle. The local talent venue is packed to the rafters, with influential music honchos, wealthy patrons, and major talent scouts looking for the next big sensation. This is the exact moment Trina and Giovanni Palmieri have been tirelessly working toward. But the crushing, suffocating weight of her family's endless trauma finally takes its toll on the young artist. The stress of Curtis's impending trial, the vicious civil suit, and Portia's sudden medical crisis proves to be entirely too much for her to carry. Backstage, hidden from the glittering lights, Trina suffers a severe, paralyzing panic attack. She is visibly shaking, her breathing shallow and erratic as blinding stage fright continues. She looks at a stunned Gio and chokes out the devastating words that this is a mistake and she absolutely cannot do that. It is a heartbreaking, raw moment of vulnerability for a young woman who has tried to stay so strong for everyone else. Gio is momentarily shocked by her sudden collapse, but the passionate young violinist refuses to let his partner throw away her old... He steps up in a massive, heroic way, delivering an intense, fiery, and desperate pep talk. He anchors her to reality, reminding her of her immense talent, her resilience, and her undeniable strength. The emotional rescue works miracles. Trina pushes through the blinding terror, steps out onto that brightly lit stage, and alongside Gio, delivers a musical performance that will leave the jaded scouts absolutely mesmerized. They do not just survive the showcase, they completely dominate it. And the payoff is immediate and shocking. The duo is about to receive massive, life-changing news that could alter the entire trajectory of their careers forever. But there is no triumph or applause waiting for Congresswoman Willow Kane, only cold, calculated psychological warfare. Michael Corinthus corners his ex-wife, and the venom dripping from his voice is absolutely chilling. He looks at the powerful politician and delivers a cryptic, loaded accusation that cuts straight to the bone. They both know she got exactly what she wants. Michael is not yelling. He is slicing her apart with surgical, ruthless precision. He points out her newfound political power, her vast wealth, and the darkest, most twisted prize of all, a stone-silent man she currently has complete, unquestioned control over. Michael is directly referring to Drew Kane, who has been trapped in a terrifying, locked-in state, entirely at Willow's mercy due to her secret paralytic injection. Michael's long game is terrifyingly clear and devoid of any mercy. He is meticulously laying the groundwork for total, absolute custody of Wiley and Amelia Corinthos. He wants no visitation, no shared holidays, absolutely nothing. He does not trust Willow with their children for a single second, and he harbors a deep, burning, vengeful hatred. Michael is executing a master manipulator scheme, actively and maliciously pushing Willow toward Harrison Chase to trigger a massive, public scandal that will destroy her political reputation and secure his children forever. Willow is cornered, panicked, and rapidly spiraling under the immense pressure. With Drew rapidly building a biological tolerance to the paralytic and threatening to wake up and expose her horrific crimes, Willow is caught in a suffocating vice grip. Michael knows she is breaking, and he is standing by with a lit match, ready to burn her entire world to the ground. The explosive fireworks continue to detonate across town as Britt Westbourne finally catches up to Carly Spencer, and the resulting confrontation is nothing short of nuclear. Britt is a woman pushed to the absolute jagged edge of her sanity. Freshly back in Port Charles after surviving a horrific WSB ordeal, she is entirely broke, jobless, and completely homeless. She marches right up to Carly, furious and indignant that her room at Bobby's was rented right out from under her without a word of warning. Britt demands answers, acting as if she has been uniquely victimized by the very town she repeatedly deceived. But Carly Spencer does not do pity. and she certainly does not tolerate unearned entitlement. Carly drops a brutal, unapologetic truth bomb that completely shatters Britt's defensive, prickly shell. With absolute ice in her veins, Carly tells Britt to quit acting like the world owes her something and fix her own miserable life. It is a ruthless, necessary reality check. Carly reveals she changed the locks and handed the room over to the newly arrived, handsome doctor, Tristan. Britt is left standing there, completely stripped of her dignity and her options. She is more of a pariah now than she was years ago during her worst scheming days. She is rapidly driving away the few friends she had left, alienating Lucas Jones with her toxic, explosive tantrum. In a dark, twisted moment of reflection, Britt might actually believe she would have been better off rotting in a damp WSB jail cell. At least there, she had a guaranteed bed and a hot meal, regardless of how terrible the plumbing was. Now, she is entirely on her own, facing a town that has completely moved on without her. With Portia bleeding on the floor, Anna spiraling into madness, and Michael closing the trap on Willow, who will be the first to lose everything they hold dear? Drop your boldest predictions in the comments below, because Port Charles is burning.